Welcome to today's class. Today we are going to discuss about narrative techniques. So narrative is a story, and the narrative style of writing can be used in short stories, novels, poems, as well as in non-fiction and many other types of writing. Okay, so narrative means it is a story itself, and the narrative style is the way you write or the way you bring out the story, so that there is some kind of, maybe it's just a usual story like you read, but they add some kind of elements in it so that it becomes beautiful. So narrative techniques are literary elements that writers use to give their writing depth and convey meaning. So it is the narrative techniques, that is, the writer uses special kind of techniques so that it gives, it appears extraordinary. So maybe the author is just describing something usual that you see every day in your life, but when the writer uses these narrative techniques, what happens? It adds to the beauty of those ordinary things, and that ordinary things becomes extraordinary when these narrative techniques are used. Alright, so these narrative techniques can add artistic elements to the story as well. So it appears to be very artistic. Maybe the author is just describing a flower, but when these narrative techniques are used, it appears to be something extraordinary, something which you didn't think about. Maybe the author is just comparing two things. So it may be the author is just comparing two entirely different things which you may not have thought. Okay, so it appears to be what artistic when these narrative techniques are added. So the first one is metaphor. That is, a metaphor compares two topics without using the words like or as. Example, she has a heart of gold. So metaphor is a narrative techniques which the writers use to compare two different things which without using the words like or as. So to recognize a metaphor, that is, when two different things are compared and the words like or as is not used, it is a metaphor. Okay, so here in this example, she has a heart of gold. Okay, so a girl's heart is being compared to gold, which is pure. Okay, so it means that particular girl is having a pure heart. Okay, so we may not think of, okay, that particular girl is having a pure heart. So instead of saying that girl is having a pure heart, what did the author do? The author author added a metaphor, that is, the girl, she has a heart of gold, which means her heart is as pure as a gold. Okay, so that is metaphor. So it is very easy to recognize a metaphor. There won't be any words like or as. Okay, second one is simile. A simile compares two topics and uses the words like or as. She was as swift as a comet. Okay, so simile is when you compare two different topics with using the words like or as. There may be some confusion regarding these two, metaphor and simile. In a metaphor, what we are doing? We are just comparing without using the words like or as. But in a simile, what we do? We compare two different topics with using the words like or as. Example: she was as swift as a comet. Okay, so here the girl is being compared to a comet. Okay, so the girl was as swift as a comet. Next is hyperbole. It is an exaggeration of events. It is not meant to be taken seriously. So hyperbole is used when we want to exaggerate something. Okay, we may not mean it the way we say it. Okay, so it is like you're exaggerating the situation so that it gives some kind of effect to the readers. So example, I have told you this 1,000 times. So when you tell a person, I have told you this 1,000 times, that doesn't mean that we have told that person that particular thing 1,000 times. We're just exaggerating. That is, that particular person has told you that thing many times, but you're not ready to listen to it. So here the hyperbole is exaggeration of events. That is, you're exaggerating. It may not be the real thing. So it is not meant to be taken seriously. So it is not the literal meaning of what we say. That is the other meaning. Okay. Next is imagery. So it is a technique where an author uses figurative language to create a sensory experience. That is, it makes use of our senses. That is, sense of taste, sense of smell, sight, hearing. All those things are made into use by the author. Example: the dewdrops twinkling on the grass. So it is the sense of sight that is being described by the author. That is, the dewdrops twinkling on the grass. Okay, so it is imagery. That is a technique which uses a figurative language to create a sensory experience. It is a senses that is being evoked. Okay. Next is alliteration. It refers to the use of repeated consonant sounds at the beginning of the words. So in this, it is very easy to recognize an alliteration. We can see in this example, the slimy snake slithered silently. So here, the word S is being repeated in all the words. So that is an alliteration. There is a repetition of consonant sounds at the beginning of the words. That is an alliteration. Okay, the words are being repeated in all the words. In that sentence, we can see S is a letter that is being repeated. Okay, next is personification. It is a literary technique whereby a non-human object or being is given human characteristics. That is personification. So from the word itself, we can see person. So the person's attributes are being given to an object. Okay, so it is a literary technique where a non-human character or non-human object is being given the human characteristics. So the characteristics of a human being are being given to an object. Example, the pollen in the flowers mocked me as I began sneezing. Okay, here the author is comparing, giving the human attribute to the pollen grains of a flower and saying that it mocked me as I began sneezing. Okay, so that is giving some kind of artistic element to those lines. Okay, so here the pollen is given the human attributes. All right. Next is red herring. It is a technique where writers divert the attention of the reader onto another character or element of the story in order to distract from the truth. So when a story is happening, what happens is the writers, in order to distract a particular character from what they are seeing or distract that particular character from the truth, they divert the attention of the readers by introducing something else, or the characters, they begin a conversation with some other topic so that the truth is not revealed to that particular character. That is called what? Red herring. That is when an incident is happening and the truth is, they don't want the truth to be revealed to that particular character, they use red herring so that and they deviate the person from that particular topic and they introduce some other topic so that they don't they don't come to know about the truth that is happening. Next is epiphany. A sudden realization of the character can have a dramatic impact on the story. That is, epiphany is something that is when the characters doing the characters are going through their daily life. Suddenly, some kind of realization occurs to that character, and they realize some kind of truth, or they decide to do something. Okay. Example, in Hamlet by William Shakespeare, the title character realizes that he must take revenge for his father's murder while sailing to England. So in this particular novel by William Shakespeare, Hamlet, in that novel, it is Hamlet is a protagonist. So he was sailing to England. During that time, he decides that he should take revenge for his father's death. Okay, revenge for the murderers of his father. Okay. So that is epiphany. That is, he realizes it very suddenly. Okay, so that particular thought strikes him and he makes a decision which leads to a great impact in the story. Next is flash forward. It shows events that happened in the past or future that impact the characters in the present day of the story timeline. Okay, so flash forward, that is something which happened in the character's life. Okay, shown to be, these events are shown to have some kind of impact on the character's present life situation, either in the past or in the future. Okay, so it is flash forward. Next is cliffhanger. It is when a story is left open-ended and unresolved. That is cliffhanger. That is, the readers are left hanging. They're not aware of what is going to happen next. So the readers can decide, okay, whether it is, they can decide what the ending will be. So the writer just stops the story when story at the most crucial state of the story, and the ending is the readers can decide what the ending will be. So that is an open-ended story. That is, the readers can decide, okay, which will be the ending, whether what will happen to these characters or what will happen to the story. That is an open-ended story. And this is commonly used in television or film as creators want the viewers to come back for the next episode or sequel. So it is usually used in television or films so that the creators, the viewers have a tendency to know what is going to happen next. So they stop the story at the crucial state of the story, so that the readers or the viewers, they'll have the curiosity to know what is going to happen next. Alright, so that is cliffhanger. That is, the story is left open-ended so that the readers or the viewers can decide what will happen to the story next. So these are the things we discussed today, that is narrative techniques. We discussed about epiphany, flash forward, imagery, then simile, metaphor, all these things you can find in a narrative. So all these narrative techniques are used by the writer so that the readers will get an impact. So there is a artistic or stylistic point is added to the story. Thank you.